Marvel's Comics X-Men number 1, aka Codename X-Men number 1, is a meta comic set within the Marvel Comics universe, taking off the idea that Steve Rogers, who's Captain America, was doing a comic for Marvel Comics of Captain America. So in this comics universe, we have Mark Millar, we have Sean Phillips, and Duncan Fegredo doing the X-Men if they were working for the evil version of the U.S. government run by a Colonel America and his Sentinels. So a variant of the Weapon X plot from second arc from Ultimate X-Men, which Mark Millar would go on later to do. This is during the Bob Harris run. This is like the latter days of the Bob Harris run of editor-in-chief at Marvel. This is before Joe Quesada took over. And in this comic, we see a very nasty, a very meaner, a much more mean version of the X-Men. That is, you have Wolverine, you have Cyclops, you have Goblin Queen, Mastermind, and you have Deathbird and Iceman. And it's Goblin Queen, and clearly from the art, they actually went in and colored the underboob and exposed stomach. Because I guess they were like, that's just too much skin. This ain't gonna fly. This is not gonna fly. Hey, but it was okay it was acceptable in the 80s. It was acceptable at the time. But, hey, things change, I suppose. But this is a nastier team, but they're sent by Colonel America, who, if you get out of line, he will shock you, as Iceman clearly finds out. But their mission, and they don't get to choose to accept it. They have to accept it. They have to go and find Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, his new nano bomb in a stolen Quinjet. Now, is being, held hostage by Doctor Strange, and they got to go get all these to accomplish his three parameters of the mission. So they're teleported in, and clearly this will go on to inspire the Ultimate X-Men arc, because it basically keep yourselves alive. We want you, the Weapon X program will want you. So I guess within the Marvel Comics universe, the in-universe stuff, they know about the Weapon X program. So I guess some kind of Woodward and Bernstein, Watergate, I guess there was Weapon X Gate, maybe, leaking from the Canadian government. But they go down to hunt for Doctor Strange and the bomb and Iron Man, and they do find Iron Man, except he's being held for dinner, because he is dinner. Doctor Strange and his mutie cohorts are eating Iron Man, with some wonderful Mark Millar humor about can openers. And again, this predates Ultimate X-Men. But then this is, I believe, the first X-Men comic by Mark Millar, first official one at least. And in this, we basically have our team of mutants that are looked at down upon as scum. Our covert strike team pretty much all get wiped out. There's a few survivors by the end, but it's a brutal comic. I actually really enjoyed this, even though it's a one-shot, and it's, spoilers, it's like a 20-year-old comic. It's, I think it's probably 21 years old at this point, but this is the kind of stuff that I enjoy. These little, you don't see these, fifth week events really anymore. They had this, and this is, this is after the -1 issues, which are all prequel stories. The best one of those was -1 Cable, which Jose Ladron did doing the artwork. Cable shows back up in the past, meets a younger version of Rain Sinclair, Wolfsbane, as well as Moira McTaggart. And Cable doesn't speak English because he's from so far in the future. The English language doesn't exist, so he's got to read minds and pick up on how to, speak. So this kind of concept, hey, it still kicks around. Back then it did. I don't think you do the fifth week events anymore. I mean, they just focus on, 20-part X-Men Gala or whatever, X of Swords, whatever they're calling it now. Ten of Swords, X of Swords. Haha, we get it, X. I see the Roman numeral, but you have to put the lines over it to make it the Roman numeral, my opinion, whatever. But this comic's actually really good. If you can find it for cheap, track it down. But I haven't read the other ones, because there is a Daredevil one, I believe, Spider-Man and Hulk, I think a Punisher, all set within that, and another Captain America that has art by Steve Rogers. I think it's actually like Mark Bagley or something. I want to say Mark Bagley or something like that. But doing might be somebody else. I'm maybe misquoting here, but I'll probably throw up the correct answer on the screen. But this is the kind of stuff I enjoy. These little kind of one-offs, and really is a one-shot, and it's just a nastier take at X-Men. It's kind of what could have been. It's kind of like how Grant Morrison's Marvel Boy comic, I guess, is kind of supposed to be the first Ultimate comic, but not really. But either way. So, thank you for listening, and take care.